call this part 2. I just want to sort of keep the videos not too long because, you know, people lose interest, go away, get busy. They don't, if they see a video is half an hour, they don't start it. They haven't got time. If it's 10 minutes, maybe you can deal with it and you'll get 5 minutes in and decide whether the rest is for you or not. And it's each to their own. It really doesn't bother me who watches the videos and who doesn't. I just want it to be shared and people to push it out there so I can help more people. If you don't want to be helped and you don't like it, then bada bing, bada boom, you can just go and do whatever you're going to do. Keep eating your cakes and drinking your Coke and not changing your oil and leaving your EGR standard the way it is. That's just beautiful. And you can tell me how K&N filters are crap and they don't work, and you can go and do all that stuff. You can tell me Optima batteries are crap because I'm an idiot and I just keep using crap stuff. Anyway, what would I know, right? It's just what I see every day. Anyway, back to what we're talking about. So let's just pretend for a moment this is a 1GD. All right, so the 1GD, it's a bit different. Airbox looks similar, but it's different. So I don't think it's the same, different air filter. The compressor and the compressor bracket bolts in the same. The master cylinder is the same. The reservoir there is similar but different. The radiator is similar but different. The battery and stuff like that, that'll be the same. Washer bottle will be the same. It's a 150, but these 150s, right? So this 2013, they're much smaller and lighter. There's much less at the front. The 1GD 150, they really come out like that. There's a lot more hanging off the front, and there's a lot more space in between the radiator and the grill here. But that's a separate story, isn't it? Talking about the EGR plate. So if you've got a 1GD right around here, so the DPF's down here, and just think of it like it's there instead of the exhaust manifold, okay? So instead of the exhaust manifold and the turbo, well, it's there on the 1GD, the DPF, and the turbo's sort of up here, and it's all jammed in there. It is jammed in there. That's why it's sort of harder to work on. But anyway, down here, you'll see some big fat pipe and a couple of nuts, 12mm nuts, you know, around about here somewhere. And they're quite difficult to get to and they're quite tight, so don't try and undo them unless you've got the right tools. And, you know, you don't want to break your car or something leaning over and slip because, you know, it's just, they're hard to get to. You've got to have the right tools, single hex, special tools, special angles, get the grip. Anyway, if you had a plate with a 13mm hole, that's where it would go. You're probably not going to get a P0400. And if you are, it's just going to be every now and then. Then you just use your scan gauge 3 or your scan gauge 2, whatever you got. By the way, we might have a scan gauge 2 discount coming soon. Scan gauge 2 is good for some cars. I'm going to put one in the V6. Some cars, you don't want that big bulky screen. You just want a little slim one. They're a bit older. They haven't got as many outputs as the newer cars. A lot of the newer cars have got heaps on that scan gauge 3. Some, it's just a bit over investing. So if you didn't get a scan gauge 3, you missed out on the discount. Stay tuned because guess what? We're going to have a discount on scan gauge 2 soon. Bada bing, bada boom. So subscribe to the bell so you don't miss it. Always putting discounts together for you guys. And like I said, I don't get commission on it. Just those businesses get happy and make some sales and keep some jobs, keep people in business and stay afloat. You guys get to save a discount. And I think it's fair because if I told you about it, the product, then I'm having an influence to that product. And it's because I like it, not because I own it or someone's paying me. So I'm an influencer. And I don't want anything for influencing because I'm telling you I really like certain particular products. I like it, I use it, right? But, you know, bada bing, bada boom, whatever. See, more waffling, it's just how it works. Right, so the plate, 13mm hole goes in there. You're probably not going to have an issue. I put one in my 2019 for off-road use only, of course. And at about 40,000 Ks before it, and I was on off-road private property, of course, near the bungles. And anyway, that's where it, of course, and that's where it happens to you. So you're in the middle of nowhere, boom, engine light, you know, dashboard lights up like a Christmas tree because that's what they do. It's to get your attention, right? The whole dash cluster there, it's flashing this and that, traction control. Doesn't always mean it's the traction control. That's why you need a scan gauge of some sort or scan tool of some sort to check your codes, right? Like this vehicle has one right there. All the time. And so did the other vehicle, wherever it was somewhere. It was a scan gauge, might have been a scan gauge 2 actually. Either one will work. Scan gauge 2 is cheaper, it's more slimline, takes a little bit more setting up, but once you're set up, it's all good, it's nice and slim. Look, I like the scan gauge 2, I really do. I've got it in all the vehicles. I've got the scan gauge 3 in this 150 and in the Patrol, and I've got the scan gauge 2 in all the other vehicles, the Hilux, the 120, I'm gonna put one in the other 120. every car's got one. I've got about, I don't know where they are. I've got about 4 scan gauge 2s, and I think I'll lend a couple to a couple of friends. Yeah, a couple of friends with Hiluxes. But I wonder if they're even watching the video here. I'll tell you what, mate, they better say bada bing bada boom or something, because 2 people are borrowing mine, and I've got to get another one because they're borrowing mine. Unbelievable. Anyway, that's just how we roll. It's all good. So what I'm saying is, if you've got the 1GD and you're listening to the waffling still, and you're out in the middle of nowhere and you get an engine light, you need to be able to scan and see what it is. And then you can just go, P0400, beautiful. It means things are working, keeping things clean. Just, little fun fact. On a 1GD, you've got 4 injectors and a 5th injector down here on the DPF to burn extra fuel to save the planet. Anyway, and what happens, that 5th injector, it gets blocked up with carbon and stuff, right? And so having less carbon could be helpful. That's why you want to keep it running clean. Clean MAF sensors, nice clean K&N filters, whatever filter you want to put there, nice clean oil. And you want to do highway running. You don't want to do cold, stop-start, soccer mum driving with a 1GD. And these people buying these 250, don't even get me started. What do you reckon they're going to be? Anyway, good luck with that, right? At least if you've got a 1GD and a 150, you've got a last of the best vehicle. You do know I like the 120s the best, but the 150s, they're the second best. Sorry to all the 150 owners. I do have to take sides with myself because I've got both, and I love both. And V6 and Ds, I love them all. But you know what? I've got to tell you, I do still like the one. There's something about the 120s. I'm sure other people can put in the comments that have had or got 120s and 150s, and you'll just know what I mean. Same as having a Prado and a Patrol. Plenty of people regret selling their Prado. You can't replace a Prado with a Patrol or a Patrol. Point is, if you've got the scan gauge there, you can just clear it and smile and keep on driving. For me, I think I cleared it and came back again. I cleared it, then it didn't happen again for 10,000 Ks. So that's what I mean. You can just clear it. You can monitor your coolant. You can monitor your DPF. You can monitor lots of things with your scan gauge tools, whatever you want, or you can not have one. It's up to you. I'm just giving you options. So next option for it, if you got a 1GD, and if I had a 1GD I was keeping, and maybe a 1GD I had might have had this, but only for off-road use. You just plug into the ECU and you switch the bloody EGR to 0. And we can do that with these as well. Let me give you some history on that, because this isn't something that's in the videos, in the EGR information playlist, but I'll put these 2 videos, the one before this one and this one, in there, so then it all makes sense. So let's just rewind about 10 years. So let's go back to, say, 2011, 12, 13, 14, 15. Back then, this is where we're sort of starting to work on 1KDs. Some of them we saw from new. I had an example. I had a plumber, he had a Hilux, a Prado, a 1KZ, he had a Hilux 1KD, he had all these fleet of cars, and he just brought the cars to me for service straight away. He didn't care about Toyota and their warranty, just wanted it done right, value for money, convenient, bada bing, bada boom, right? And mate, these things, they just went and went and went, hundreds of thousands of Ks, and that's what they did. Never had a problem, never changed injectors, that sort of thing. And then it was sort of just after many years. So remember, 2005 they came out, the Hilux with a 1KD. And I'm talking, this is now 2013 or something before. No, it was more like 2011, 12 where we started going, better start injectors, checking values, this and that. And there was a couple of cracked pistons starting to pop up, usually cars that had chips, towing camper trailers, this sort of thing, probably towing in overdrive. There's always been a lot of talk about not towing in overdrive. That's what the book says, but everybody will do what they do, and they didn't know and they were busy. Remember what I said about doing your own homework on your own health, your car, and even your house, your property. You better go check for termites, Next thing you know, all your timber will be getting eaten with termites, right? Mate, how good are these videos, really? I even entertain myself. Some people have got to be having a laugh, right? Who cares about the waffling? How educational is it? Hit the like button, subscribe, turn the bell on, don't miss another video. So if you've got a 1GD or a 1KD, you can just plug in and switch it off. Now, the problem we got is we can do all the 1KDs for you. This is off-road use only, this one, like all my cars, so they're all good. They're all 100%, let's just say. No plates needed. I might have that there anyway, but no plates needed, let's just say. Nice and clean. And that's because, remember, it's got to last forever. It's all part of the package. And the 7mm works well. But back then, we know that the turbo pressure goes backwards through the EGR cooler, and We weren't sure if it was going to cause problems with the turbo if you reduce the flow, and I figured under pressure it's still going to come backwards through the hole anyway, and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, long story short, 10 years later, other people have been doing EGR 0 for years. Nobody's had any problems with turbos because of that, is what I've seen so far. So a couple of years ago, we got the equipment so that we can do things like maybe, and we haven't done it yet because we're busy. I haven't got the equipment. I've got a team member with the equipment, okay? So, so someone in the team, he's got the equipment. He can sort out your 1KD instead of a plate 0. We'll just call it 0 instead of 7, keep it simple. And of course it cost money because the equipment was expensive, and we've got to pay some maintenance on that as well, and running costs of people, you know, maintaining the equipment, bringing it, and their time doing it and all that sort of thing, and travel costs. Things aren't cheap these days, but probably cheaper than anywhere else you can get it done. But we're not going to talk about it here because prices go out of date. Someone will see it in a few years and go, oh, no, and they get their hopes up, and then, oh, no, it's dearer than that. So at the end of the day, about a handful, something like that anyway, right? EGR 0, more or less, depends who you are. But look, the 1GD, it's a good option. Problem is we haven't got all the files for the 1GDs. And I wasn't aware when we got the equipment that we were going to not have files and need to pay maintenance to get files when we need them. I just thought, okay, we've got the equipment we can do. I didn't get told anything otherwise, which is cool because it's new to everybody, so we didn't really know, but I didn't know is my point. So we don't have the files, and it's very expensive to get the files, so we need a whole bunch of people with 1GDs that want 0 that haven't already had it done so that we can get the file. We need to get them all done all in one hit, really. Like, we need to get a lot of people. So this is a bit of an EOI towards the end of a video. Be on Oz Prado Crew if you're in Australia, in Victoria in particular, because you're going to need to be local to do this stuff. We're not going to be doing it remotely. So if you're in Victoria, stick on the videos. We're going to try and round up some people for the 0. And I reckon I've waffled enough in this one. We're up to 12 minutes. So it's another bada bing, bada boom, and catch you on the next video soon.